example of connect where you buy. While Amazon was, you're buying there and you're connecting now. So really interesting example. I think this is one of the best examples, at least I have come across, of a company using Twitter for its, they and Dell do it very well. Twitter for their customer service programs. They have something called as a 12th force, which is obviously Twitter Help Force. Best Buy, for those of you who don't know, is a multinational electronics and entertainment products and services retailer. And they really have pushed the bucket on how to use a microblogging platform like Twitter to say, if you want to reach us, this is where you reach us. And they've done some fabulous integrations where comments and feedback doesn't come via hashtags, but actually it's a live Twitter. They can reply back to people. And also the community is now creating knowledge, because tech products, typically if you have a problem, someone else has a problem. Maybe that's true for every industry. And so if there is a good input that someone has given, a community member can actually just feed it back into the knowledge board. And this is something you should experience it and see what kind of innovation is happening. And according to Best Buy, their customer support centers now are taking lesser and lesser load, and they're saving about $5 million a quarter between marketing and customer service programs. Dell, again, 3 things that they're doing. They're doing their care program very well on Twitter. They have something called as a Dell outlet. And this is Twitter exclusive deals that Dell does. And it's a rockaway success, already delivering about $2 million of revenue in the last 6 months to Dell. Now, 2 million may be a very small number, but this is a platform where others are yet to experience a big benefit of actual money being transacted. So they're bringing outlet deals specifically there, and then they have separate areas where they're saying, if you have a problem with Dell, if you want to share a feedback, write to Dell Cares, and they're doing that pretty well. Disney, quick example, we all well versed with group buying, but this is an example where actually Disney is now taking group buying to a slightly different level, saying that group buying, but with the people you know. So if you have a group of friends and you'd like to go experience Disney together, come buy the tickets together and we'd give you a group deal. Delta is doing similar things with group buying, again on Facebook. So very interesting stuff happening there. And the last piece, which is just like, at least it opens my mind, is that when a Coca-Cola, a brand like Coca-Cola, goes and starts selling its merchandise there, and you see that Apple Store goes live on Facebook, you know that commerce is going to fundamentally change, because we all know that Apple does not need more distribution channels. They're a pull machine, right? But at the same time, they're embracing what the consumer is looking for. So I come to the last section, which is these are concepts which we've been kind of, all of us are hearing every day from everyone. And again, in the afternoon session, David Fisher was saying that is it very different back in the US than what's happening in India? And we exchanged notes, and he said, no, I don't think it's any different. It's different only for different types of companies. So Fashion&you is a company which started out by being a community company, by being a social company. There are many things we have yet to get right in this space. We're a 14-month-old company, but we never gave ourselves a chance to be anything else. We said we are going to leverage the word of mouth, the social fabric that this web now has activated, and we almost got born as a social company. So if you're born as a social company, you're pretty much doing the things that you would do whether here or in UK or in US. All companies are innovating almost at the same speed. So I'm just going to take us through a few things that Fashion&you has done and how it has leveraged social to really become what it is today. In 14 months, we're India's largest online fashion and lifestyle retail company. We obviously lead our private shopping space, which is the niche segment we operate in. This is happening in a country where people have not bought online fashion before we really charged them, took the charge and started saying, let's create the ecosystem. Now, on the social space, what's going to travel is things which are engaging and things which can create a buzz, right? So the whole business model was before you start saying we want to be a viral company, you've got to also start thinking that are you buzzworthy? are you going to give them something to talk about? So big brands, irresistible discounts, limited time, limited merchandise, members only, you can get in. So these are all the ingredients which make social commerce platforms like private shopping become social commerce platforms. So we got that done. Our marketing is largely viral and referral marketing, and this goes back to the point that collaborative tools is what we have given our members, that if you like our service, collaborative tools and incentivization, we've spent all our marketing energies behind our member get member programs, where people are posting their links on their personal invitation links to become a member for Fashion&you across various social platforms, tools to link to your address books, and even when you're on the network and you're shopping, there are several ways in which you can communicate what you're doing with your friends, and we're only now pushing the bar on that one. Facebook, right from the very beginning, we went and said that if we are a social company, we've got to be where consumers are going to discover us. So we've very aggressively used social platforms for a process of discovery, and not really worried about when the purchase will happen, that the purchase is happening. But I just wanted to kind of get that thing there, that our commerce has been because we have been there where people could discover us, and then we gave them engaging products and things that they could like. Fan-first promotions. Now, some companies are doing some really good stuff out here, that if you've got a community with you, you've got to do something back for the community. It's always a two-way street, right? It's not going to be that they're going to be with you, but then they have no reason to kind of come and engage with you outside your core shopping platform. So we do things which are fan-first promotions, which are only available for people who are with us on the social platforms. Content, I said social media, content, and collaborative tools, and I touched upon collaborative tools, but content and commerce do go together. So whether it is our catalogs and our sale events, which itself, we take a lot of pain in the way we curate our sale events, the way we shoot our products, everything is done in-house, only to keep the fashion element very high, and fashion is a self-engaging area, right? Once you start looking at images, you are going to get tempted, and you're going to want to send good images to your friends, tell them what products are there. So we start with our catalogs as one area of content that we very strongly focus on. Most retailers typically wouldn't think that their catalog itself is going to be their buzz creating tool, right? But we do that, and while it may not be very apparent outside, we focus a lot for that, for our word of mouth and buzz. Videos. Our YouTube platforms, we go and make sure that sales or events on Fashion&you which are worth giving some additional content on, whether it could be behind the scenes studio insights, or it could be funny ways to wear your bandana when we sold the IPL bandanas. So there's various engaging content that our teams are creating every day and posting, and consumers are discovering us. Just like my son discovered Elmo, right? So consumers are discovering us there. So our whole brand is getting propagated through the social web. And this is an area we're very strongly now working on. There are several tools out there. I don't know how many of you have seen a tool called Get Satisfaction. We're trying to get that company to give us the tools which we can really push the social CRM bucket, because our consumers want to talk to us on Facebook. They don't want to talk to us in our call centers. They don't want to talk to us otherwise. They really want to be, they're asking product questions, quality questions, service questions, pricing questions. It's literally almost expecting every department of our company giving one champion to the community team and saying, here is the champion from this particular function who's going to be on the community force, and we're going to try and take our company even more social than it is today. Social sign-ons, social graph, we looked at what Amazon is doing. We are giving an ability for consumers to get, while they are inside the shopping platform and they're selecting their products, they can share products that they love with their friends. After their purchase, they can tell their friends. It's pretty simple, but with each tool that goes live, you'd see a fundamental change in which people will start sharing. So that's what, while the steps look very simple, getting it all together and you start seeing a major shift in the way consumers are going to talk about your brand. So on the right side there, it's the right, yeah? Yeah, the community. So when you are on Fashion&you, what we're going to now enable is the other things of sharing product and what you've shopped is already there. What we're now going to enable is a full social graph, wherein if you are on Fashion&you, you would be able to see that your friend just picked up a Donna Karan dress, or she picked up a particular handicraft sari, and you could quickly ask her that whether what she's seeing is something she's liked and whether you should go ahead and make a purchase. So what your community is doing with Fashion&you, what your friends are doing with Fashion&you is going to be just like good old days. Your friends are going to be with you when you shop. And then last but not the least, taking our shop where our consumers are connecting, which is opening our stores, opening our store inside the place where they're most habituated, which is the Facebook page. Catalogs, we're working on getting our detailed catalogs. So if you're a fashion retailer, you've got to get your Zoom functions right, and you've got to get the ability to be able to give the entire details about the product. But when if you start seeing this, what's going to start happening now is that people, when they shop for a product, it's automatically going into their news feeds and activity feeds, and the virality will only keep getting pushed further. The invitations, which is what is our fundamental power behind, let's say, the brand Fashion&you, where people have invited other people to be a part, that itself really goes the next leg through the fact that your friends and network get carried with you where you go. So in summary, 14 months, our brand build, our customer acquisition, advocacy, repurchase, customer service, bit by bit, everything. While the brand build was purely social, we've not spent a single dollar in offline marketing. And in fact, we're probably using, I think we're using Google less than Facebook. So, usually the slice of media spend is give whatever Google can absorb, and then let's go to the next channel. So 1.6 million members, 5 new members are joining Fashion&you every minute purely by word of mouth. Our largest upstream and downstream traffic is to Facebook. I know that's happening to a lot of businesses, but for us, this is fundamental, because the more platforms like Facebook and Fashion&you start collaborating and the more connected they become, our consumers may not need to leave us for maybe a few more minutes. So, if they spend 9 minutes with us, that could go up to 12 or 13, and that's why we're so interested in this space. 65% monthly repeat purchase, and we're shipping about, on last count this month, we would be shipping around 100,000 orders out our distribution centers. So I fundamentally believe that social delivered shopping to a company in India, and the brand got, I think it's a baby brand right now, but whatever it has done is with the belief that as the web goes more and more social, if we master that, the brand has a bright future. So socialize your brand, get social in your DNA, collaborate with your consumers. Word of mouth is the marketing channel that counts. And don't wait for the how, just do it. 3 out of 5 things we do don't go right, 2 go right, and those 2 take the company forward. So there isn't much knowledge base which can say this is how a company can do it. Risk-taking companies are the companies which are going to get this space right. And if big companies can't take that kind of risk, then what I would urge them to do is take a new brand, build that brand only through social, don't experiment with channels which are beyond social, and then see how that brand plays out, rather than if you don't want to touch the best big bets, you could do something very fundamentally different with a new baby brand that you might be creating. A lot of questions get done on what's the ROI? How do we know it's working? But it is working. It's just a question of probably we don't have the science and the tools to become confident to go up to our bosses and say it's working. And every rupee that I'm spending here is making this company more powerful. I think the fundamental way to think about this is that the ROI would be, as Eric Qualman said, that your business will still be here in 5 years and it'll be a robust business. So let's not ignore it, and let's go social shopping. Thank you.